Hello folks, welcome back to my workshop. Today I'm going to show you how to make this little stainless steel pen that looks like a bolt. It has a cap that was nothing more than a threaded rod that's been drilled out and tapped in the middle, and we're going to make this pen on a wood lathe. The only thing I must tell you, this is all stainless steel, and stainless steel is hot and very sharp when you drill and cut it. Okay, first I'm going to show you some of the parts that we're going to use. As you've seen, these are the parts that are going to be used in the pen. It's going to be a ballpoint pen. You could change the measurements if you want to make a roller ball. We're going to be needing some drill bits, very small ones, some medium sized ones, and a big one for the cap. We're going to use some center drills so we can get these other drill bits going. I've just got this big one out here so you can see what it looks like. The small one won't come up on the screen too much, I don't think. This is called a center drill. It's got a 60-degree included angle there. When you drill down the center of something, it leaves that angle, and it's not so that you can drill onto it nicely. It's actually so that it matches the center of your lathe. Some of the tools that we're going to be needing, we're going to be needing a tap wrench, some taps. This is another type of tap wrench. You can use this type if you want. I'm going to be using this one, so get rid of that one. We're going to be using this little gadget here. This is a tapping guide. This is going to fit in the chuck. This is going to sit on the back of the tap, the chuck, and that's going to make us go in straight. You'll see how that's used later. The other gadget we're going to use is one of these. This is a die holder. This is quite a nice one. All it is a shaft. You can see it's got a Morse taper 2 shank on it, a straight shank to your tailstock, so that can move backwards and forwards, and of course as you spin it around and thread your shaft so it can move up, tailstock stays in the same place. These come with different sizes. You won't be using these really big ones, so we'll get rid of those. We'll just be using this one here. This particular one has facilities for 4 sizes. This one here is the one we're using, 1-inch diameter. Okay. What else can I tell you from these bits? I think that's about it. Okay. I just forgot to tell you about this little piece here. It's going to be replacing this. This is a Morse taper 2. My wood lathe only has a Morse taper 1, so instead of me going out to buy a new one of these, I just knocked up this piece out of a piece of stainless steel, and that's just going to slide in there, take its place, and this end here is going to be held in the chuck, in the Jacob's chuck, so I can still use it like that piece, but that's all. Okay. Right, welcome back again. This is my little wood lathe. This type of lathe is called a pipe lathe because the bed is a pipe. In my opinion, it's probably one of the worst types of wood lathe you can buy. I prefer a bed with a flat top, and you'll see why. Because it has a little rail underneath, and the tailstock can rock about quite a bit. So getting it up on center when you come to do drilling, or even just aligning the centers when you're turning, can be a bit of a mission. So I don't really like this lathe very much, but I must admit it served me well. The tool slide, a tool rest at least. This is a tool rest I made up myself, also made of stainless steel. We won't be needing this on this little project, so that'll be coming out. Just move that to its side. Here we have a little Jacob's chuck, number 1 Morse taper. That's going in there, and there we go. I'll show you how to line this up and then clamp it down in place when we come to do the drilling. Okay. Right, back again. This is the body of the pen, and we're going to put a small hole in the end of this and this is where the refill nib is going to stick out of the pen. The other end is going to be where the refill is inserted from when it's been changed. We'll drill this hole here first. At the same time, we're going to line up this. Okay, let's get this in the chuck. This is just a quite a cheap 4-jaw scroll chuck. It's not bad. It's got pin jaws on it. Alright, so we'll just take that up lightly so we can still move it. Okay, and we're going to take this. This is the drill that we're going to use, so we know that just loosen it a little bit. We want to drill it as close to the chuck as possible to keep everything as rigid as possible. So we know that this is going to sit up about there. Okay, that's about enough. Okay, let's take this and loosen this. Put that in there. You can tighten this up if you want, it doesn't really make much difference. Okay, now you can see how much movement there is there. So we'll just take this up lightly until that stops moving, like that. Now we'll lock the tailstock in place. That's locked. Now we can loosen this. See that? That's nicely in the middle. I'll take that out. Loosen that. Slide that down to there. Okay, I'll move that again in a second. There's our center drill. That to go in here. Least amount of movement as possible. Normally on a metal lathe you'll keep everything here as close to the headstock chuck as possible. The less distance you have, the less movement you have. Okay, let's go. This lathe is set to about 400 revs per minute. We're drilling stainless steel. We want to do it nice and slowly, and once we've found a center, we want to, don't mess around. We don't want to leave the tool on the metal doing nothing, otherwise it just gets hot and will wreck the tool bit. What we're going to do first, I forgot to do this, just give me a second, is that normally on a metal lathe, the end here which I've cut off with a hacksaw would be faced with the tool to be nice and flat. If you don't face it, what happens is the drill bit, when you try to drill, will just skate into whichever the grooves are. So we're just going to face that, and we're going to use our facing tool, which is nothing more than a file. So sorry for the noise, and here we go. There we go. That should do the trick. Right. Do this now. Let's get that a little bit closer. I might have to edit this down a little bit shorter to keep in the time limit of the YouTube video. Right, as we crank this up, because this is so sloppy, we're going to keep a little bit of tension on that screw so we can still move it, and we're going to try and guide it into the middle. Now we only want the first little bit. We don't want to start getting the angled portion of that hole. I'll show you why in a minute. So we'll take it down to the full length. The little pip on that drill is in. And that's it. Then we'll back it off. Okay. So if we start to use the countersink, then we just make the hole bigger, and it's pointless for the nib. Right, now let's move this back a little bit so we can get this drill out. I'll change this drill back in a sec.